people around me are unhappy, anxious, stressed, and scared of the 9 to 5. The reality hits many people's faces right before graduation, like, oh my god, what am I doing in my life? I don't want to work 9 to 5. I don't want to get trapped in a rat race. Myself included, I had this kind of thoughts as well, but the problem with these kind of thoughts is that the 9 to 5 is not the problem. Let me explain, but before I do, let's get on the couch. Every single of us who listens to podcasts or consumes a lot of self-development content hears this advice every single day. Don't get trapped in a 9 to 5. And while that advice is great, it's brilliant, but the message of that advice is misunderstood. Let me explain. The actual message of that advice is that you should avoid getting yourself stuck at a 9 to 5 job that you hate for the rest of your life. So meaning that you should avoid getting yourself trapped in a job that you hate. And what gets you trapped at a 9 to 5 job that you hate for the rest of your life is one, going for a career that you hate instead of going for a career that's fulfilling and that you're actually enjoying and that you like to do. Because 9 to 5 can actually be enjoyable. It can be fulfilling if you just choose something that's suitable for you. And the second thing that's gonna get you trapped in a 9 to 5 job, and this is even more important than the first one, is living above your means, taking loans and mortgages which you cannot afford, which forces you then to work that 9 to 5 job which you hate, because you cannot quit that job because you're having those loans and mortgages and other debts that you took for yourself, so which results in you needing to work that freaking job that you hate so much in order to pay your bills. So especially if you avoid the latter, you will always have the freedom to change if you don't like something in your life. So 9 to 5 is not the enemy. It can actually be quite enjoyable and fulfilling, and it's the misunderstanding that makes us so anxious, stressed, and afraid of the 9 to 5 idea. And with this being said, I'm not saying that entrepreneurship is not the thing to do, that you shouldn't pursue entrepreneurship. In fact, I myself pursue entrepreneurship, and I see that for myself at the current moment the only way to pursue my life, but obviously those things can change, and it's important that everyone pursues the things that they think that suit them the best. I just see this rising trend in entrepreneurship because of social media and anti-movement towards working a 9 to 5 job. But while the anti-9 to 5 job movement is like, it has its point, but I feel like a lot of people fail to catch the actual message of it. Because I'm going to say it honestly, entrepreneurship is also not for everyone. The same way as working 9 to 5 is not for everyone, entrepreneurship is also not for everyone. It's just the fact that many people are going to do much better working a regular 9 to 5 job than pursuing entrepreneurship, and they will be much happier doing so. But because of this rising trend in entrepreneurship and being self-employed, I feel like a lot of people get a bit and maybe even a lot lost and confused and face this tremendous pressure, and because of that they get super scared and anxious of their future. So my goal with this video is to make you feel better about the idea of working 9 to 5. It's totally okay to work 9 to 5. Not everyone has to be an entrepreneur, as long as you're happy with what you're doing and don't get yourself trapped. In fact, if you don't learn to live below your means, it doesn't matter are you working 9 to 5 in an office cubicle or are you an entrepreneur, you will still get yourself trapped. These people who advise you against 9 to 5 are selling you the idea of entrepreneurship by over romanticizing the idea of entrepreneurship, because they want to sell their own courses so they can make money out of you. And I feel fully entitled to say this because I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and I'm going to be really honest with you right now, and I'm going to give you some taste of reality. Every single of us needs variety in life. No matter are you building your own business or are you working a 9 to 5, but if you do something long enough, you're gonna hate it to the core of your bones. So I know entrepreneurs who rather go bankrupt as long as they just get rid of their freaking business that they hate so much because they've been working on that business already for the 2 decades and they just can't stand it anymore. And then I also know entrepreneurs who lived above their means. They never learned to make more than they spend or spend less than they earn. And because of this, they got themselves trapped, but not in a 9 to 5, but in entrepreneurship. So pursuing entrepreneurship is not the answer to freedom. The answer to freedom is learning personal finance, becoming aware of how much you spend, becoming smart with money. Anything that you decide to do in your life has its downsides. There is no such thing as fun, happy, and enjoyable 100% of the time. And I feel like the problem with our generation is that we think so. We tend to think that things are fun and happy and enjoyable 100% of the time. Because in social media, everyone just showcases how much fun they're having in their life. So naturally, this has created an illusion where we think that life is supposed to be fun all the time and everyone has it figured out, whereas actually no one has it figured out. We had a birthday last weekend, my boyfriend's birthday. He turned 25 and we had his friends over here from Netherlands, and we had like 15 people over. And before that birthday I was like stressing, oh my god, all the people are going to ask me how am I doing in life, what am I doing with my life, and I'm like, I felt like they had it all figured out, and I was stressing about it because I thought they're going to ask me all these questions and I have nothing figured out with my life. I'm making YouTube videos and yeah, so I was really stressing about it. But then I saw these people and I was like, no single person of those 15 people has it figured out. So this social media creates the idea that everyone has it perfect and figured out, whereas actually the more people I meet, the more people I get to know, I start to realize that no one freaking has it figured out and no one freaking knows what they're doing. And I actually read a very comforting quote a few days ago, and it said like this: if your path in front of you is clear, then you're walking someone else's path. And that was quite deep, but it hit me really hard. So I'm going to say it one more time. 9 to 5 is not the enemy to your freedom and happiness, nor entrepreneurship is the solution to it. The real enemy, the real trap, is the system we live in. Hopefully this video made you feel better, and if it did, I would appreciate it a lot if you give this video a thumbs up, because it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and supporting my channel. And if you also feel like you're vibing with my content, then please consider subscribing to my channel as well, so we will keep in touch all the time. And I thank you so much for watching this video, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.